Larry, great to have you back, you blue chip daily guy. How are you?
Dale, good morning. Thank you for having me back.
Hey, it's always good to have a guy who knows how to, ride trends. And our interview would probably be shorter if I asked you, what aren't you long?
It would be short. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, you want me
Your
to
charts?
put up the share screen?
Yeah.
And while
Okay,
you're doing
share.
that, I just want to say good morning, Larry. Happy holiday to you, and thanks for joining us here on Face. And I'm going to back over to you,
Well,
Dale.
wait, good morning. Happy holiday. Thank you for having me on. I always appreciate spending some time with you guys.
Great to
Yeah,
have you here.
we've been doing this for years, Larry, you and and I want to thank you for your your giving spirit of coming here and edifying our community before we get started. So
My
okay,
pleasure,
here
Dale. Thank you.
here we are. This is what the bears were trying to justify the market blow off or parabolic move because the equal weight wasn't performing, and now it is.
Yeah, so you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, got it.
So really when I go through all the markets, almost everything is in an uptrend that I follow other than bonds.
Yeah.
So stocks, everything's making new highs. The equal weight, the S&P, triple Q, New York Stock Exchange, mid caps are making new highs, right? So mid caps, this is a group I think to focus on. Mid caps new all-time highs, right?
Yeah.
It's ahead of triple Q. So mid caps are ahead of triple Q year to date. And I think
Oh,
that's important because the mid caps, they don't have a lot of tech. They've got finance, they've got industrials, they've got some tech, but mid caps are a good representation of the market. Small caps haven't caught up yet. And I know small caps are on
a
everybody's radar.
lot of regionals in there. That the
Yeah,
reason?
small caps aren't on my radar. They could easily work from here, but when I look at this small cap chart, it's still I don't know 10 or 15% below the
Yeah.
all-time highs worse versus the mid cap chart, which is
Yeah.
breaking out to new highs. So the mid caps
Good eye.
are yeah, the mid caps to me are a stronger group. Now, here's the thing with small caps. If everything goes right, so here's what you need for small caps, I think, to really take off. You need no recession, you need inflation to go down, and you need the Fed to cut rates. So if all three of those things happen, then small caps will probably lead, right? But until then, they have been lagging the mid caps. So I'm not anti small cap, but I just think that the mid caps, when I just look at the charts, and the
Yeah.
mid cap chart is a better chart for me.
Yeah. Better relative strength. Why buy the weak sister? And there are
Right.
a lot of people talking about Russell doubling in the next year. So
Yeah.
there are people trying to be long, famous guys, not like
Oh
you and
yeah, for
me,
sure. And
very
like
famous.
I'm not like I said, I'm not anti small caps, but I just think that for small caps to work, everything has to go right.
Are you long miners now, Larry? Had a nice initial wave out of the hole.
I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
So miners are moving nicely. We posted a couple charts. So I like HMY in
Okay.
that miners group, which
Yeah.
if you look at HMY, what's that? That's at an 11-year high right now. So when
Yeah.
I look at that chart, up 33% year to date. So it's leading the group and it's
Right.
breaking out. So gold is
Yeah. You have
super
to
strong.
differentiate. Like, Newmont hasn't done much. It was weak. And, there are some dogs left.
Yeah, that if you look at that, and I don't know why. I'm sure there's different, logistics in that group, but when I look at the charts, HMY really stands out to me as the strongest one. AEM has been improving. It's trying to clear the top of this range, but I think HMY really is the standout in that group, and the group's improving.
Yeah.
HMY is a good chart. Gold's
Okay.
breaking out, so that's really good to see. Gold's making new all-time highs right now.
Yeah. How about oils, Larry? It's kind of been seesaw there. You like,
Yeah, the
go
oils are
ahead.
strong. There's a couple that stand out. So Marathon, it's really the refiners that have
Okay.
been stronger. So Marathon, uh, Phillips 66 PSX, that's a really nice uptrend. Valero's been breaking out. Valero big, and I
Wow.
didn't see what that move. Now I will tell you, yeah, there it went back down. FinViz has some wonky reads, in the morning,
Okay.
but in
Yeah.
either case, these are still at the top of the screen versus crude. Crude's still down in the low 80s,
Yeah.
81, 82. This is the crude ETF. But
Yeah.
yeah, oils look good. Dale, pretty much everything right now is in an uptrend.
How
Other
about
than
some cannabis stocks are coming out of the hole? I know it's binary, but they're looking for the reclassification of it from it being a Schedule 4 to whatever, to where you get a
Canada,
ticket.
Canada looks good, and they've got a lot of bank stocks in there, but also they've got some of the miners. They've got Tech Resources. They've got a couple of the energy stocks like Canadian National. But yeah, Canada, all these charts
I was
are,
asking
are
about
they're in
cannabis.
uptrends.
Cannabis.
Oh yeah, cannabis. Yeah, my bad.
It's
So
all right.
cannabis, we actually have this. This is working, and I've
Yeah.
got this on our high beta list. So I run a
Yeah.
couple different buy lists for members,
Yeah.
and this is basically on our high octane buy list. And yeah, cannabis looks
Like,
I'm looking at MSOS because that's the one that I follow the most, and that's really close to a potential breakout here over
yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
Very
And this is
strong.
just retail guys buying stuff like this.
What's that?
It's mainly retail. Institutions can't buy a lot of the cannabis stocks for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, I've
Uh,
got you. Yeah,
yeah.
but that's a really big look. You're going back, to
What
the
a
end of
base.
2022. Very, very big range breakout, and I think you've got a lot of potential upside there.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought I'd point it out because I like them.
Oh yeah,
Not for the
good looking
reasons
chart.
that everyone that's listening to us thinks.
Right.
I
Well,
like
it's
them to make
legal. It's
money.
legal in a lot of states.
Oh
It's
yeah, I know. It took all
yeah,
the
it's
fun out.
legal.
Took
It's
the fun
legal in
out of it.
Massachusetts. That's a surprise.
That took all the fun out of it. It becoming
Yeah,
legal. I'm kidding.
I know. I know.
Anyway, all right. Mega cap kind of dragging its butt. People starting to are they going to start rotating out of this and going into some of the other things you were showing us?
Yeah, they are. So, and this is something we were looking at earlier this week. So right now, year to date, triple Q is lagging energy, industrials, financials. It's lagging mid cap. So, and what
Yeah,
you've
most people
got,
wouldn't think so. Most people wouldn't think so.
yeah, it's surprising. But well, I shouldn't say it's surprising, but everyone thinks that triple Q always leads, and it doesn't. And what you've got right now is Apple's been an underperformer, Tesla's been an underperformer. So in triple Q, there's pockets of strength like the semiconductors. The semiconductors have been lights out. Maybe they pull back, but I think you still have to have some semiconductors. But I think it's important here to
Lower high
have
there.
what's that?
Lower high on this bounce.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
there's
right now they
another
got to
leg
pull
to the
back
downside.
sometime. Yeah,
Yeah,
they can't go up all the time, but I think
maybe
you've got
back
to
to
have
210. 210 maybe, huh?
yeah, could be. But I think you've got to have some mid caps. I think you've got to have some energy and industrials. And I think this year you could see the average stock beat the S&P 500. And last year the S&P 500 beat the average stock. But I mean, you're seeing right now just everything, materials,
Yeah,
that's new all-time highs. You see that's just starting to break out to the top of the range.
looks
If you
good.
take a look at XLE, and listen, this is good
Yeah,
because
it's
for the
broadening out.
That's exactly what it is. You know, it's if you talk about, let's say, a table, right? So if you've got a table that's got 11 legs and it's only got 2 legs underneath it, the table's going to be very wobbly. But if you stick 4 legs, 6 legs, 8 legs, right, 10 legs
Yeah,
under that table, it's going to be much sturdier. And that's what you're seeing right now is you're seeing
good
everything
metaphor.
else. You know,
Yeah,
my favorite group really right now based on the charts is the industrial sector.
yeah.
And
That
you know,
that
it's
doesn't say recession.
not at all.
So
Not at
maybe
all.
the Fed won't cut. Why does the
No,
Fed need to cut when, things you're showing me right now are making new all-time highs?
that's the thing. I think the Fed right now, and who knows what the Fed's really looking at, you know, behind the scenes. But right now, I don't think there's any pressure on the Fed to have to cut whatsoever because, listen, inflation, we still have not beaten inflation yet. You
You
know,
want to take a trip with me to Jekyll Island and grill these guys?
yeah, yeah. Who knows? Listen, Jerome Powell, that poor guy, he looks like, when I look at him today versus last year, he looks like he's 20 years older
Yeah,
because he gets it, you know, he's getting pressure from all sides. You know, they want him to cut rates and then they want him to beat inflation. You know, they want him to do it all, but you can't really do it all. So,
yeah,
but yeah, when you see stocks, I mean, Caterpillar 16 times forward earnings is not very expensive. JP Morgan
yeah.
12
The
times forward
financials
earnings.
have been flying. Yeah,
Financials have been,
everything.
yeah, financials have been
It's
super
the by
strong.
the world market,
You know,
and
I mean, look
and
at insurance.
it's been happening not with a real weak dollar, with a stable dollar. So I'm
Yeah,
wondering, I think the dollar has a little more left in it to the upside. But if the dollar turns down, that's only going to be more jet fuel for this market, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so because that would, you know, help the profits for these multinationals. I don't
And
follow the
yields
dollar
turn
too
down.
much. You're much better with the dollar, but it looks like where's resistance? 105,
106 and a half.
106.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean right now when we go through these charts, I mean other than bonds, right? When we go through these charts, I'm hard pressed to not find uptrends.
Yeah.
You know, even and listen, here's the interesting thing is the leading sector year to date, right? The number one S&P sector is communication services, which is part of triple Q because you've got Meta, you've got Alphabet, Disney's been breaking out, Netflix is breaking out, but you know, I think that you in this environment you need to be long, but I think you need to spread out your, you know, I don't think, you know, I think you need to spread out the positions because there's some nice outperformers. I mean, look at GE. I mean, who
Yeah.
would have
The
thought?
old stodgy ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's up 40% year to date.
Yeah.
There's money to be made, I think, in most sectors. And as long as we get today, you know, jobless claims came in pretty much in line. The
Yeah.
economy's been pretty strong. I just think that we're in a decent environment right now to be long most things.
Yeah. Larry, do you run a fund?
I don't.
Okay. So, but you do keep a record of your performance, on your recommendations on Blue Chip Daily,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, all right, we're ending the first quarter. Go ahead. This should have been a great quarter for you. Tell
Oh
us what
yeah. So
you're
we're so
theoretically up.
well, we've got a couple things. So the tracking account that I use for my actual buys and sells, that's ahead of the S&P, it's ahead of triple Q, it's ahead of
Okay.
all the indices.
You're
We've got a
outperforming. Okay.
oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
By a
yeah.
lot.
By about 300 or 400 basis points based on which index you take a look at.
Okay. It's great.
And then we've got a high beta list. So we've got subscribers with, you know, different time frames. We've got fund managers, we've got portfolio managers, and then we've got, the person next door. So we've got a pretty wide range. And we run a high beta list, with stocks like MSOS and Supermicro and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, all of our picks are, my tracking account is way ahead of the market. Our picks are very, very strong. We track them every single day. I could track the success rate, but I'd say that probably 80% of our posted ideas are profitable year to date.
Okay, who is we and our?
How do you mean?
Well, you said we. Who else
Yeah,
besides you?
so we would be me, the people that work for me. I've got a support
Okay.
staff of about 5 people. And then
Okay.
obviously our subscribers, because with my website, people, where I add value is I post my ideas every single day. So when I say we, I'm talking about my subscriber base, and that's about
Okay.
850 people or so.
Because some people say we sitting in a studio apartment
Yeah,
when
no.
it's I, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I've got a pretty decent, operation here, so I can't do it all by myself. But
Uh,
when I say we, I really refer to my subscribers, and the reason is because I'm in the boat with my
I bet they
subscribers.
give you ideas that you weren't even looking at
To a degree, to a degree.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't find them all, but really every pick that I put out there, my name is attached to it. So I'm
Anything in the
only,
Bitcoin arena?
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I've got IBIT,
Yeah,
and I think Bitcoin's going to go
to 100.
uh much higher. I think Bitcoin's going to see 100,000.
Yeah,
I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, I think we've had
yeah,
MicroStrategy and Coinbase on the list most of the time. I think MicroStrategy for those that really want to play the high octane
yeah.
on Bitcoin, I think it's MicroStrategy. I don't do anything with the with the smaller coins and stuff like that. Really just Bitcoin.
Personally, do you own any Bitcoin?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I've had Bitcoin in a Coinbase account for a while.
okay, nice. All right, Larry, what's the best way for people to, catch all your action
Two
instead
ways.
of
So
once
the
here
the
every
the,
3 months?
the best way, and just to answer your question, because I know you were asking about
Okay,
uh
go ahead and brag during this commercial.
no, well, so
I'm kidding you.
Blue Chip Daily is the website, and then once
Yeah,
a month we post the portfolio update. So just to answer your question, so this was the open positions. This is my open positions tab right off the members website as of the end of February. So we'll update this at the end of March. But I wasn't going to mention it, but being that you asked me, so at the end of
yeah, blame it
February,
on me.
here was the P&L
Nice.
open positions right off the website. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. And
All right,
then
Larry.
if people want to find me on Twitter, it's going to be at Blue Chip Daily. And the other thing, Dale, is we offer a free trial so people can, join for free, no obligation. They can see what it's all about and then decide from there.
How long is the trial?
30 days.
Okay,
No
nice.
pressure, no obligation. If they like it, great, stay on. And if they don't, they send us an email and there's no charge, there's nothing.
How much have you donated to charity after this quarter?
I haven't donated anything yet, Dale.
Okay. Well,
I've
yeah.
donated some to the market. I got stopped out in a few things, but
All right.
I got to get my but not anything yet.
Okay. Just curious. I'm a believer in that. That you plant good seed. You can't always be reaping from the field, or you'll ruin
Oh,
the
I
soil.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, just none of my business. I shouldn't have even asked you that, but I can't control myself. So
Sure.
anyway, Larry, buddy, I'm happy for you and your subscribers. Great work. I knew before you came in that this was going to be the story because I know your style, and there's nothing not too many things underneath your moving average bands. So know that you'd be long a lot of stuff. So
you know what it is, Dale. This has been it's been a really good market this year, and I think the key and something that I stress, on Twitter and with my subscribers in this type of market, I think it's really important to not overtrade. Because everything's working higher, and it can be tempting to always want to do something every day, but sometimes just when you get into these big uptrends, sometimes just to ride it out is often the best thing to do. Yeah.
Patience in all markets. But
Yeah.
when you have something working, you're right. It's very tempting to take it and think you'll get in on the next pullback, and you're distracted and you miss it, and it keeps going. So
pretty much everything that I've sold over the past 3 or 4 months, it's all higher. So
right.
And I try to sit tight, but I got stopped
Do you
out
beat
of a couple
yourself up
things.
over that?
Dale, I do.
Okay.
I beat myself. I sold Marathon. It had been a little bit of a laggard. I was up by about 3 or 4%, and I liked a better idea in the industrials, and I sold it right before it took off. And I've got to tell you, if I get stopped out of a trade, I forget about it, in about 2 minutes.
Right.
But when I sell a stock and then it takes off, I remember that for 6 months. So
I know you take it to heart. Well,
yeah.
So that's something I'm working on, is to just let go of things like that. It really doesn't serve you. Anyway,
I try to learn from it. I look back at the chart and say, okay, I sold this too early. What did the chart look like when I sold it? And I sold it to go into the industrial sector, and I went into Eaton, which is also broken out, but it just hasn't broken out the way that Marathon did. And I don't like to sell, early, but it's going to happen sometime. So I just, review the chart and see what could we do better.
Yeah, and you know what? The key word is write it and have it somewhere where you could see it. Next.
Yep, I agree.
All right, buddy. That's a little free coaching from the coach.
Coach
And
Dale.
I have that word, next. Remind yourself that there's always another trade, and
Right.
And maintain your health by not getting aggravated
I
over
agree.
things like that, because you know how it is, Larry. You're always not in enough when you're right, and in too heavy when you're not. So
that is a fact.
it's all in our heads.
Yeah.
So I'll see you for our next clinical session. But you see, this was a very good checkup. Your health is good. Your decision making is clear, and I'm glad for you, buddy.
Dale, thanks for having me on. Have a great holiday, a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, I'll talk to you in probably July, Larry. I'll get a hold of you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, Larry Tentarelli, everyone, and find him on X at Blue Chip Daily. The guy knows how to stick with trends, and is transparent enough to say that he makes mistakes too. And with that being said, everyone have a great holiday. Enjoy whatever you're celebrating, and recharge your battery, and make your plan for next week over the weekend when you're not with family, so that you're ready to execute. Regardless, we'll have an idea after the inflation number tomorrow, PCE, I believe. So don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios, Face community. And I'll see you on maybe tomorrow, but for sure Monday. Adios.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.